And so you gonna try to go after him. Guess what? I got his back.
Listen,
you fuck with him. You fuck with him. You fuck with him. You touch him. You touching me.
I don't know Trump has created wealth. Bernie Sanders has created nothing.
Put your hands on me. Put your hands on me. Why you ain't touch one of the black guys? Touch one of these real frontline protesters. Put your hands on me.
Put your fucking hands on me.
I'm a real frontline protester.
I think you took the brakes on that.
You goddamn right.
All right.
Real recognize real. Real recognize real.
Put your fucking hands on nobody out here, man.
This is my buddy.
Keep your hands on your fucking self.
You touch him.
If you want to put your hands on somebody, put your hands on me.
United. This is fucking unity.
Black and white. Black and white.
All right, then.
Trump does not want unity.
Black and white.
Let my man through.
Black and white. Black and white, bro.
Let my man through.
Black and white. You touch him. You touching me.
You know what? I gotta say, I take my hat off to you because you are the guy. This is the guy right here. Look around you right now. There's got to be 150 people standing around, and it all started with this gentleman right here.
Because I'm a leader.
Because he walked through the crowd and he started spewing racism. And now the conversation is elevated to where we got to this point.
Black and white. You put your hands on him. You put your hands on him.
You're trying to get us Go get over.
He's assaulting people.
Trump comes in front of the screen.
I come from corporate Green. I have my own company.
So have you created any job in the middle class?
What job?
Where you at? Why are you...
Give me the job right now. Give me the job right now. What job? What job?
I have a used furniture company. I create furniture refinishing jobs. I have movers. I have assistant movers. I have people that do work for me.
But what are movers going to do for us? So for him to come to New Jersey, do you support Chris Christie cutting the budget for education?
No, I want
So why
Mexico.
and this whole thing here is because of him being in debt.
yes.
Why is that
$150,000?
right? Okay, but that's not fair to us New Jersey. Why is he in debt? Because us college people who graduated from
Make
college
America love
also
again.
are in debt. But why that's not fair to us? But why is Christie in debt?
I'll tell you what.
Viva Mexico!
I went to college.
I had to work my ass off to get my bachelor's degree and then my master's. That's not right.
It's because
he's taking away from education.
I will tell you why. Because they made federal loans available to students. The colleges said, "Oh, there's that money. I went to college for 4 years, graduated from the University of Wisconsin. It cost my parents $12,000.
That's how many years ago was that?
A year.
I don't mean to bring your how many years ago was that? Every year.
Congratulations, I own $50,000.
50 years ago,
But that's still not right. That there's a lot of grants that people can take advantage of today and scholarship opportunities where they don't have to pay that. But they're still in debt because that's being taken away from Chris Christie taking away the budget. Why are our elementary school teachers who are helping shape our future tomorrow being paid
Next to nothing. Next to nothing.
They have to pay out second and third jobs. Let's talk about New Jersey before we talk about being
Because of supply and demand. There
no bullshit. They should get paid more.
Of you, there are so many unemployed teachers. The wages have gone down. Simple supply and demand. Now, if you're a nuclear physicist or you're a brain surgeon, like who's the brain surgeon guy? Dr. Carson. I'll bet he makes $1.5 million a year because they're rare.
New Jersey and him paying back however much they're paying back. That's being taken away from us New Jersey residents. I was born and raised
Wait a
here.
second.
I give back to my community. I do everything. I take care, and Chris Christie does not take care of the drug and alcohol epidemic that's going on in the state of New Jersey. Okay? Whatever you're getting, whatever facilities is open is because of private insurance, which goes back to corporate greed, okay? What happened to the people that need help? You guys worry about the homeless people, but where are you guys giving their help to? Where's that money going? Where's that money going back to these people that we can help today?
Well, I will tell you this, anybody who takes drugs is a stupid fool.
That's a lie.
That's not right. I've never taken a drug a day of my life, but I help the people who take drugs
use
every
drugs are
single day.
addicts. Only
Okay,
like, what,
I've never had
4%
any
of
type
people
of
who use
drug
drugs are
addiction.
addicts. You know, people take drugs the same way they drink alcohol. You know, it's not really a big problem. It's not. That's. I'm American. I was born right here in the United States.
You didn't take your pills this morning. You have some English accent with you.
Yes, I do.
Maybe
I'm sorry if it was.
No, what's wrong with having an accent?
No. Like I said, she's born here in my
ignoring what I have to say.
Why is there a problem if he has an accent?
I think it's great. Really? Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah. Cheers. Cheers. Hip and all that.
You gotta have money in order to help yourself as a drug addict. You have to have money. You have to come from money. Okay.
So to buy drugs, you have to have money. No, how much are they?
They're like $5. They're $5 bags. They're $5 bags.
Heroin. $5. INFOWARS. Love you guys.
$5 for drugs. What the hell are you smoking?
Wait, so Donald Trump promised you jobs.
With what?
With jobs. You said if he becomes president, we'll have more jobs.
He's going to bring jobs back from other countries because they pay them nothing. It's slave.
No. Before you elaborate on the jobs, no. Before you elaborate on your jobs, how is he gonna do it?
He's gonna put a tariff on them.
He is telling you his plan, but do you know, is he able to go through with his plan?
Yeah, it is a fact that tariffs do work.
Congress gonna agree.
You know, this country.
Congress is gonna agree.
Before the income tax, this country, where there were no personal income taxes, there were only tariffs, and they paid. They 1913. They did two things. They created the Federal Reserve, and they created the personal income tax. So before that, tariffs have always run this country. Now, you put 35% taxes on everything coming in from Mexico, and guess what? Companies are going to bring their jobs back here rather than pay a 35% tariff.
Well, what's going to happen to the other countries?
Your teachers
Well, that's their problem.
But if we're giving them the jobs, what are they going to do?
You know what? What the Mexican people have to do is do exactly what we did. Rise up and have a race of revolution.
INFOWARS? You know, I've been on INFOWARS a couple times.
Yeah, you have?
For jury nullification.
Okay, what's your name?
Edward Fortune, the New Jersey weed man. I'm actually running for Congress this year, so I'm out here getting signatures. I'm a big advocate for jury nullification. If you look up on INFOWARS and you look up jury nullification, you'll see I did a couple interviews in the past, you know, about jury nullification.
So what do you think about Donald Trump?
Fuck Donald Trump. No, you know what? I shouldn't have said it just like that. You know, I actually used to work for Donald Trump. I worked in Ivana Trump's restaurant for 2 years back in the 80s. I waited on Donald Trump all the time. Actually, if he wasn't running for president, I mean, he's great for certain things. He's a great TV reality show. He's actually a great construction guy, development guy, but he is not presidential material. And that's really what I think. He's just not presidential material. He's a hothead. He's a loose cannon. He does things off the fly, and that's great if, you know, you're talking about building a building, but you're talking about the leader of the free world. He has the button to push the nuclear bomb. He can start a war with Russia tomorrow. He can start a war with Korea. He can start a war. He can disrupt our allies. Like, that's too much power for an irrational guy. And when I say irrational, like, you know, I'm actually guilty of being very similar to him because I do things off the cuff and I do things at the moment. And sometimes I go back and wish I had time to take that back or to do it a different way. But when you're talking about, he has the power of the most powerful military in the world. He would be in control of the second or third largest economy in the world. You know, our currency system is the world's currency system. You can have this man in charge of all that and give him the option to pick a Supreme Court justice? Oh my God, no way. Whew.
All right, so if we're going to get specific, just specifically his policies, his ideas, what do you dislike the most?
I think he's a divider. You know, this is the United States of America. You know, and we're not, you know, I admit, we're not quite as united as we should be, but putting Donald Trump in charge of America would be divisive. It would be dividing the United States.
So, you know, the DNC is close by in Philly.
I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm going. I went to the Republican convention in 2000, and I didn't think I'd ever see a convention come to Philly again. So this is great. It's a Democratic convention, and I think it's going to be a lot of turmoil. I am a burning for Bernie guy. You know, I believe in Bernie's message, and I'm sorry, Hillary lost me. Her adherence to Bill Clinton's 1995 crime bill, 1993 crime bill. You know, super predators. You know, we talk about Harry Enzinger, Richard Nixon, but you know what? The greatest increase in prison population actually occurred under Bill Clinton's watch, and she was down with it. She can't unsign her name or divorce herself from that political issue. She never even divorced him. She can't divorce herself from his political policies, you know, and she is strapped to the 1993 crime bill, you know, where us so-called super predators were residing. And oh my God, I can go on and on and on about the war on drugs and how Bill Clinton's policies helped it. She's strapped to it.
Jakari Jackson reporting from Albuquerque, New Mexico, outside of the Trump rally. Trump is set to speak in about an hour from now. But as you can see right now, there's a large group of anti-Trump demonstrators. Let's go ahead and take a walk down here and see if maybe we can get a word with a few of the folks who came out here. Now, this is the anti-Trump side. There is a pro-Trump side, which is back that way. We'll try to get over there in just a little bit. Let's get a little bit closer here and see if we can take a look at some of the signs. So this guy has a very sensational sign. Sir, do you mind if I ask you what brought you out here today?
The First Amendment right to protest.
All right, we take a look at your shirt and at your sign here. So you got the F Trump shirt and also Trump for KKK, or KKK for Trump. What is your beef with Donald Trump?
Well, number one, I think he's a manifestation of the media. I mean, we have a reality star that's running for president. I mean, who's next? Kim Kardashian or Justin Bieber? That's pathetic. I mean, it really is. And I mean, he says anything just to pander to any crowd. So he's at Liberty University and he quotes Corinthians 2 or whatever, you know. So I mean,
as far as policy, what's his policies that you can't get with?
Well, I know that he'd revert back to the essence of tax cuts, okay, for the wealthiest, cutting trade embargoes, you know, shipping out jobs. I mean, he says he's for American jobs, but all of his clothes that's made is made in China. So he's a hypocrite when it comes to that standpoint, you know, so.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, no. There's plenty of other things. His xenophobia, his racism, overt racism, and not being able to walk away from David Duke or any other white supremacists that endorse him. You know. So I mean, and the violence that's taking place at his rallies. You know.
Well, sir, I will challenge you on that point. We've seen people like Hillary be endorsed by Klan members as well.
I agree with that. Those are just trolls. I mean, really. I mean, okay, so if you look at the history of, because I teach history, okay, so conservatives oppose the Declaration of Independence because they didn't want to give up their power, okay? Donald Trump. But you look at the civil rights area, who was opposed to it? Conservatives. Who opposed to freeing slavery? Conservatives. Who was opposed to allowing women to vote? Conservatives. Okay, so paying for public education, they try to dismantle public education. I'm a public education teacher, and they're constantly trying to dismantle it. They've tried the idea of vouchers. Now they have charter schools. All it does is hurt education. I mean, and I teach this in my world history class. It's the movie Bug's Life. It's the ants versus the grasshoppers. The problem is you get people to think that they're grasshoppers, but they're really ants. Okay, and I like some of the things that you guys do on InfoWars, but I think some of it can be a little bit lunacy, you know. So I listen to some of the things that you do, and I believe a lot of the things. But when at the end of the day, Hillary's going to appoint a Supreme Court justice, possibly up to 4. That's better for America, better for workers, better for my son, better for the air that they breathe, the water that they drink.